Hello and welcome to another YouTube video. I'm Tandy, and today we're going to be playing Grixis Transmog. This deck recently won the Pioneer Challenge on Magic Online this past weekend, and we're going to be running a slightly different version through League, and we'll talk about the deck itself and then the changes. So, first and foremost, this deck is built around the card Transmogrify. 4 mana, this card is essentially Polymorph if you're an old school player like myself. Transmog is just a red version of Polymorph, but you exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. That player puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles the rest into their library. So essentially, we're using this to eat a token, and then we're using that to go get Atraxa Grand Unifier. Atraxa Grand Unifier, people have been trying this new powerful angel out in a ton of different shells, and it's honestly paying the bills. Atraxa Grand Unifier, flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelink, that's already pretty strong. But when it enters play, you have the ability to flip the top 10 cards of your deck and just put a different card in there for each card type. Essentially, it's a draw 4 at the, not at the least, but on the regular, it's going to be a draw 4. And that's just really difficult for a lot of decks to beat. You want to play Atraxa. You don't want to cheat it into play in a full straight glass cannon combo deck. You want to cheat it into play in a combo deck that is also interacting heavily with your opponent. We've tried it in Neoform shells to great success so far, and now this one is trying it in a different shell. But the thing that remains the same is the interaction, specifically 4 copies of Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is going to be our generic early interaction that takes our opponent's removal spell, counterspell, whatever, right? We're just going to take the wind out of their sails with Thoughtseize. That's also going to make it so Atraxa is more protected when you try to go for it. The other card that's black, and one of the reasons why these types of decks are so successful, is Fatal Push. Fatal Push, 1 mana, kill a creature that has mana value 2 or less. Honestly, not that hard to turn on Revolt in a lot of spots. I think that Fatal Push is just an excellent removal spell, and definitely deserves a slot here. Those 2 black 1 mana removal spells are honestly, in my opinion, the reason why black is one of the most powerful colors in Pioneer, if not the most powerful color. And if you'll notice, they actually push you towards playing specific lands too, namely Blackleaf Cliffs and Darkslick Shores being fast lands that activate for black on the first turn. The rest of the deck is built to not only interact with your opponent, but also to enable the Transmogrifies. Let's go over some of the targets for Transmogrify. First and foremost is Shark Typhoon. Shark Typhoon for 6 mana is a big enchantment, but that's not really where you're going to be getting the value from it. You almost always get the value from it from cycling it. For blue 1 and X, you get an XX Shark and draw a card. That shark has flying. Shark Typhoon, incredible card in Pioneer, just incredible card in general. Really cool for Atraxa because it's an enchantment that you can find. That plus Fable gives you a reasonable number of those to hit. The other things that enable Shark Typhoon, we have 2 copies of Kaito Shizuki to make a 1/1 ninja. This can also be a nice looter to turn dead cards into real estate. We also have Fable the Mirror Breaker, which has the front side and the back side, both of which can be hit with Transmogrify to bring the Atraxa into play. On top of that, we have 2 Reckoner Bankbuster. The vehicle itself or the 1/1 that it creates from activating it 3 times can be targeted with Transmog. And then lastly, we've added, this is a newer addition to the deck, 2 copies of Mirix. Mirix is a land that can play any color of mana on the turn you play it, so you can still use it to turn 1 Thoughtseize or Fatal Push, which is nice. But as the game progresses, you can use it to make 1/1 mites. It's going to be really nice with Transmog. I've seen some people play this in Creativity already, and I think in Transmog, your mana is not nearly as stretched thin, so Mirix can be good early or late. I think it's going to be really nice here. The other interaction that we have, 2 copies of Make Disappear as our base counterspell. This is going to hit basically anything your opponent plays in the early turns. Later, if you have some tokens lying around, you can use the casualty to counter more expensive things. We have 1 copy of Negate to protect our combo / hinder our opponent's development. 1 copy of Go for the Throat as spot removal for things that Fatal Push can't kill. 2 Shieldred's Edict. Similarly, we want some answers to some Planeswalkers / larger creatures, and Shieldred's Edict can be that thing. And the last card in the deck that actually doesn't really function that well with everything else, but I think is important to the overall strategy. We're playing 2 copies of Big Score. So Big Score, we discard a card as additional cost. We draw 2 and make 2 treasure tokens. Those treasure tokens would normally be really good on something like Creativity because you can target those treasure tokens with the Creativity. but that's not how it works with Transmog. And in this deck, instead of just like Transmog into Atraxa, we can hardcast it if we have enough mana and the right colors of mana. Grixis is obviously not the colors of Atraxa. We'll need green and white on top of that. And Big Score is kind of like a 1-2 punch for turn 4 Big Score, turn 5 hit your land drop, and then you can just hardcast Atraxa. I think that's a pretty reasonable sequence to set up. And in some matchups, it's not going to be that hard to pull off. The rest of the mana base, you'll notice all the fast lands again tap for black. We got a couple of Blood Crypts. We're playing a bunch of the lands. We call them slow lands, but they're the lands that are great in the later turns. Haunted Ridge, Shipwreck Marsh, Stormcarved Coast, and then we have a couple of shock lands and one basic. This sideboard, 3 copies of Mystical Dispute. This is going to be our primary defensive measure against blue base counterspells. 3 Disdainful Stroke. This is going to be our way to stifle the development of something like Mono-Green Devotion. 2 copies of Extinction Event. This is also going to be pretty good against Mono-Green Devotion, but it's a generically powerful sweeper against most aggro decks. 1 Duress to combine with all the counterspells and Thought Seizes to really hammer home different points of disruption. 3 Rending Volley, mostly for Greasefang, but can be great in a number of matchups where they have white creatures, or blue creatures if they're playing spirits. And then 2 more Reckoner Bankbuster to fill it out against Rakdos. We can maybe trim some of the discard or the removal and then get some Bankbusters in there. We are a Gigantha the Wellspring deck. Atraxa lends itself nicely to Gigantha shells because it's so different colors instead of being like 4 black or 4 red or whatever. It's just like one of each of these. And you'll notice that most of the decks that play Atraxa just end up getting to play Gigantha, which is nice. So this is Grixis Transmog featuring Atraxa Grand Unifier. Let's play a league. All right. Well, we got the old turn 1 Thoughtseize. We don't got a whole lot going on. We do have Gigantha. They also have Gigantha. We can kind of slow the game down with Thoughtseize, though. And if they're a deck that can't interact well, the Transmog could just bury them later. Jetmir Gardens. Okay. Go ahead and see what's up on their side with a Thoughtseize. So Binding, Briefcase, Bring to Light. The Binding can break up our combo, but Bring to Light is relatively scary. I think I'll just take that. Soakin's on plus Transmog's cool too. They might tap out for a turn and get hammered by it. Peeled Fable, my favorite kind. My favorite kind of Fable is the one that gets peeled. We drew a bunch of lands, chats. We're in trouble. Maybe should have mulliganed. 2 Transmog Thoughtseize, 4 land isn't the best hand. Doesn't really beat a whole lot of anything. Honestly, though, I'm kind of just sick of mulliganing lands plus spells, like if the deck can't compete with just like generic spells, like I need to learn that, I guess. It's good to learn. They haven't played Stomping Ground yet. The Binding is essentially not game over for us, but it's pretty bad. 2 Fables. Imagine Fable the Mirror Breaker ever being banned, chat. Say discard a Stomping Ground. I feel like I just can't do anything. I guess I should have just took Leyline Binding, but like I would have just lost to Bring to Light, I think. Maybe they'll tap out here. We'll just take it. Matchup gets a lot better after sideboard. We get tons of interaction. We get all these garbage fatal pushes and stuff out of our deck. Bunch of Duresses and negates and such. I'm hoping they tap out. We're going to just like, I guess, Soakin's on into Transmog, and if they tap out, great. If they don't, then we're... Oh my god, dude. It's just so hard to beat shit like this. Just getting nickel and dime to death. I guess we can draw Thoughtseize, so let's go for a Soken'Zon. We can draw Thoughtseize and go Thoughtseize plus Transmog, and then the big Flying Lifelinker can maybe get him. So we just have to draw Thoughtseize right here, I think. Wow, we drew it. Chain to the Rocks. Alright, you win. I think Mystical Dispute's decent here. Bankbuster's pretty good. The games are going to go long. The Fatal Pushes can come out for sure. I think Shoulder Edict can come out. Go for a Throat's kind of bad. Like Running Volley that much. Disdainful Stroke's okay. Maybe it's like 2 Dispute, 2 Stroke. Put back a Atraxa. I feel like this deck wants Spell Pierce, actually. Maybe that's weird. Maybe not. Well, let's hope they don't have a fucking counterspell. It'll be pretty sad. How do you play Doden's Veto in your fucking all tap land deck, dude? It's so frustrating. I don't know. I just don't plan on having to fight counterspells, you know, when they play Zeator's Proving Ground on their deck. I'm not going to play the Mirror Shed, I guess. Or I'm not going to play the Soken'Zon yet. I'll just play another Fable. I was hoping that the Kaito could be good for making the tokens or whatever. Or drawing cards if I was attacking with a Goblin. Yeah, I tried it. It wasn't good, is what I meant to say. Okay, so what do they name? Alright, well, just gotta beat their ass with Kaito and Fable, I guess. Classic. So annoying playing against random fucking garbage, like Slaughter games. There's like one deck in the format that plays Slaughter Game / Necromentia, and we just play against it all the time when we're playing decks like this. I guess if we win, that's a testament to how good this deck is. I think I'm just gonna draw cards instead of making a 1/1. Maybe Seeker. Yeah, I don't really care about the 5-color decks. I just care about getting fucking hosed by Slaughter Games or whatever. We got like super cheesed by Fable in round 1 or game 1, and now we're getting, you know, got cheesed by Slaughter Games. It's just a little annoying. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna buy Giganta, I guess. Next turn we can make a big shark and then copy it and attack. Maybe that's worth something. Ostrich Taker. Guess we go Crew with Gigantha. Attack for 4. And then we'll draw a card with Kaito. The Blackleaf Cliffs. They never have mana issues. The only issues they have with mana are lands entering tap sometimes is the big problem. They usually build the deck in such a way where actually casting the spells is not that difficult. But I mean that's more of a testament to like modern card design or whatever though, so who knows. Alright, so now we have Make Disappear. They can cast the Fable off the hostage. I think I'll let it resolve. I think that's less scary than some big thing they can play. And the fact that I'd have to sack a Goblin Shaman to counter it means that, I'm not sure that I should. Charms were a mistake? Whatever. Charms are fine. I really don't care about this taking damage because the ultimate doesn't matter anymore. We're getting really aggressive here. Can attack with everything. I think I'm going to make a 1/1 unblockable instead of drawing a card. I think every point of pressure matters. Now we can make disappear and mystical disputes. Deck must be good. Yeah, I guess. I think it is a testament to the strength of the plan B for sure. It's just like I'm trying to showcase the cool stuff of the deck. As a content creator, I don't really care about winning, right? I care about good fun and good games. When I win in fun ways or cool ways, that's fine. When I lose in cool ways, that's also fine. When I get one card hate comboed out of the game like a Slaughter games, there's a chance if they just don't counter this, or if they counter the second Fable, or I don't have the second Fable, this game is a significantly different game where I just get obliterated because Slaughter Games just invalidates half of my deck. Alright, I am definitely fine getting hit with this. As long as I don't get it with Supreme Verdict, I think I'm okay. Just because we have Dispute and Make Disappear here. What are they with the Slaughter Games? They took our Atraxas. They're all gone. Okay, well, this doesn't say it can't be countered, right? So we're going to counter it, I think. Do we want another Mystical Disputes and another Disdainful Stroke? Probably want both. Maybe cut the big scores because these are likely to not be in our deck at some point. There are no pips there, that's true. Although the some of the pips matter for other things. Sick Fable. I don't care about removal or whatever most of the time. Disdainful Stroke's also laughable against my deck. Actual laughable. Nice peel. Very sick. Very cool. You draw a land pretty bad. I'm just going to get buried by a Bank Buster. Alright, let's play the Fable while we can. Gray draws the land. Anyway, some of the I like the colorless cost from Kozilek, the colorless mana matters things, those mess up Gigantha sometimes, so. But the old school Mog, Infinite Gyre, whatever, that one works. Not Infinite Gyre. Ceaseless Hunger. Binding on what? The token? Sure. Alright, I'm gonna discard Transmog and maybe a Disdainful Stroke. Didn't draw the land. Alright, it's gonna hold up the Stroke and Disputes, and then cycle a Shark Typhoon for one, I guess. I think if I just play Kaito, that's bad. So we know they have Disdainful Stroke in a Fabled Passage. Missing land drop there off the Fable draw was brutal. Chromium's kind of cool. It's a big thing. All right, well, the Mirrex now can act as a nice little pressure point. Attack for 1. I kind of want to play the Kaito, but I don't want to leave myself vulnerable to them having, like, Mystical Dispute plus big payoff. And I can also just make a 2/2 Shark Typhoon here, and the next turn I can go, like, land Kaito with stroke backups. Nice. I don't really care if they start pressuring me with this. I can just start attacking with this if they do. Skitter Beam Battalion. Yeah, but that one doesn't work if you don't cast it, right? Or does it? Is that one of the ones that works no matter what? And then you can cast it for 5, I guess? Are you surprised the Rona deck didn't show up in the 5-0 list? No, people... It's pretty regular that people... Damn it, I'm gonna dispute this, sorry. I'm just thinking. If they Dovin's veto me, we can still stroke the Omnath. And then we can go for Transmog on our turn. I forgot what I was saying. Sorry, I just don't even remember what I was talking about. It's fine, I'll just keep playing the game. Alright, do I want to make a 1/1 Shark Typhoon? I think no. I think I'll just untap and draw. Attack with these 2. I think I want to make a 3/3 Shark and hold up Disdainful Stroke. We could go Thoughtseize and then take their Disdainful Stroke, and then if the coast is clear, go for Transmog. But I'd kind of rather just make a 3/3. Anyway, oh yeah, new decks tend to A, not have that many people playing them, and B, be vulnerable to disruption because they're just not built perfectly or whatever. The difference between Rona and something from the new set like Mirrex or whatever that's seeing play is that cards like Rona essentially require you to build your deck entirely around them. And cards like Mirrex or even, the more powerful stuff like, it's just like a 1 or a 2 of in a deck that already exists. This deck didn't already exist, right? Like the addition of the new set didn't really change a whole lot. But like the concept of Neoform into Atraxa kind of pushes people to try shit like this, right? Bring to light. All right, we'll go for Disdainful Stroke. We can pay for our own Disdainful Mystical Dispute if they have that. All right, good news. All right, I'm going to make a 1/1 Shark Typhoon. Just need to use my mana. I kind of want to hit a land drop. Kind of want to just put some more pressure on them. Abel's pretty good draw. Start with Thoughtseize. If they just have 1 Disdainful Stroke and nothing else, we can... Oh, they have 2 Disdainful Strokes, so we'll take 1. So we'll just attack. Play Fable, play tap land, and just hope they don't peel on me. Guess we should play Kaito, maybe? We start drawing cards off of it. It'll fade out or whatever, so they can't... I should have done that first. That was bad. Would have loved to have this Bankbuster in play right now. Next turn we can make a blocker with it, or we can just draw another card. If they could like buy Gigantha, play Gigantha. Wow, Escape to the Wilds off the top is so gross. So they have lands, Fable, Binding. So they can play 2 lands and then play Fable, Binding, but then we can go for Transmog. My guess is that they'll Fable and then Binding the Kaito on my upkeep. And if they do that, then the shields are down, I think. I haven't, Rachel. Let me know if you do. Tell me how it is. I've been wanting to, but there's just too many new cards to play. It's tough. Oh, nice, Rachel. Someone I was talking to, I think it was Braden the other day, was telling me about the Ruinous Blast. Seems great. All right. Well, I kind of want to use Reflection to make blockers here. You can also use it to crew Bank Buster to just like trade Bank Buster with them. I guess I could also go for like make a Fable, double block the Bank Buster. I can also just take 4. Taking 4 is also fine. We know their hand is just Disdainful Stroke and a random draw for the turn, and then 2 lands of some kind. Stomping Ground and Fabled Passage. Hostage Taker. It's not great. Well, don't go too crazy, Viper Fang. Those types of cards have existed for a long time with the ability to blink them, so. Alright, we'll just make a Goblin Shaman in response as a blocker. We can use it to chump the Bank Buster and keep our Bank Buster. If they play both, they're incentivized to play both Fables because of Hostage Taker and the one in Exile. Both are like leaving soon. Okay, so now if I draw a discard spell, okay, that sucks. We're gonna discard both these. We can attack for 2, but I think I might need my tokens to be able to trade with stuff. Specifically the Hostage Taker, maybe even chump block a Bank Buster. Jaturna, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Well, I mean, we've had Yorion forever, Viper. No one's put, Prophetic Prism in a Yorion deck. I do think it's interesting that a lot of those legendary spells got a lot better, Rachel, and I think that more people should try them or whatever, but. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about them at all. Don't worry. I will double block this. We'll go block. We'll trade. We're like behind on board, so we kind of have to. We couldn't attack really that well last turn, but still have to deal with their Bank Buster. We get to transform our Fable. Caryatid's fine. Last relevant spell in hand is Disdainful Stroke, I'm pretty sure. Should we just Fable, I guess? I think I'm going to play Transmog too and make them burn their Disdainful Stroke. We might end up dying as a result, but I want to use my mana. I could make a 2/2 Shark, but I think this is slightly better. We can use Bank Busters to trade with each other if we want to. They have so much stuff going on, though. This Fable's transforming. This one's going to loot. Cycle Jetmir. That's fine. They were going to discard it to the Chapter 2 of the Fable anyway. I feel like Grixis. I don't know, Island. We just started playing. This is only our first match. So far, it feels like every other creativity deck suffers from all the same problems, all the same vulnerabilities. We did win a game where we got Slaughter Games on turn 4. All of our Atraxas got taken. That was nice. Alright. I guess you win, maybe? Okay, so double binding, I think, is game. I guess there's a chance we don't die this turn because we still have at least... I think we have 2 blockers no matter what. Nefarious Angel, thanks for the follow. I know, Rinro. I honestly wish they would ban this card from Pioneer. I think it's far too good to exist in Magic. I think it kind of ruins Standard, and I think it kind of ruins Pioneer as well. What it really does is it sets up an extremely high bar for playable cards, right, in the format. And like, there's also just something to be said about cards that like are just far and above better than everything else, but also ones that prevent mana screw and mana flood while doing something proactive. Mana screw and mana flood are like obviously some of the most negative parts of Magic, but what those parts of Magic bring is tension. You know, like if I flood out, like it's very difficult to get back in the game. If I get mana screw, it's difficult to get back into the game. And so when you get these like very generous and proactive 2-for-1s like Fable, what it does, it reduces variability in gameplay, and it makes it so decks are just incredibly consistent, right? All right, so let's chump, let's trade. All right, trade and trade. Take 2. You think Card Nykthos are way more warping? I don't agree with that. I mean, maybe your local game store is like mono Nykthoses or whatever, but Fable is in every red deck except aggro. It's in every mid-range red deck, in every control red deck. It's just like far and away one of the best things you can do. I might. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 7. Okay, so we can make a Shark Typhoon that's a 5/5. And then can we survive? Yeah, so we can take, let's see, if these both attack, can't make a Giganta an attack. We can make a 1/1 Shark Typhoon and a bigger Shark Typhoon. But I think a 5/5 block Elshnorn Reflection has to block one of these, so hopefully they don't attack with these. Oh, Todd, doing great. What do you think of the matchup of Rakdos with the Grixis deck? I think that it's probably better than something like Neoform, but in general, unfavored. Pressure plus Thoughtseize is very difficult to beat in general. Karn's bad if you're not generating tons of mana. I agree with that. I think that's definitely true, and I think that's something a lot of people don't really understand. All right, so we got to make one big Shark Typhoon, and I don't know how we win. But we can go to 2, we can trade Reflections. It might be Chump Elshnorn, block another creature. Let me survey the board and see if I actually make it to blocking step. I think we just have to kill next turn, which means And we can't not block with the reflection. All right. Well, I don't think I have a way to give my thing haste or whatever. So, Saintful Stroke, far too late. Shark Typhoon. Let's see. I'm at 2. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attackers. So we can't survive on defense. Maybe we just do for 1. Dang. GG. Give round 2, game 1. Gonna reveal Gigantha. Opener is pretty bad. But, yeah, it's just pretty bad. 2 Atraxa is just not where you want to be. We'll just throw it back. We'll keep this one. I kind of want to keep because I can go big score into Atraxa on 4. Maybe just put back Shark Typhoon. Turn 2, we can play Bank Buster. On 3, we can draw a card looking for land number 4. The one that I fired off way late, yeah, I think that one was I wanted you to counter it so I could do it later, but I just didn't have anything else to do with the 4 mana, so it made sense. Blue-white control. So hopefully we'll choose Bank Buster to put some pressure on them. We can start getting this online. I guess there's a chance with basic planes that it's not mono or blue-white control. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card in case I draw Thoughtseize. I want to go ahead and play. I don't have anything else to do with my mana. I tap my lands wrong. Tap my mana wrong. Misclick, misclick. All right, good. No punish. No punish. All right, so no absorb mana. I think I'm going to just draw a card and hold it, make disappear. And we can go for Kaito next turn, maybe. I really don't want them to stick something while I'm tapped out. And if I go Thoughtseize into turn Bankbuster, they can maybe stick Wandering Emperor or something. And maybe that wouldn't be that bad. So maybe Thoughtseize is right. Let's use my mana efficiently. I see less cards, though. I don't really want to just, like, play big score into Counterspell, though. Thoughtseize you. If they go for, like, Absorb, I might just play Kaito. Is this a creativity deck? It's actually a transmogrified deck. Alright, that's fine. Your go. Gonna draw a card, the last one, so Bankbuster's now gonna get turned on. We can start using it to attack. I always forget that the last trigger on Bankbuster makes a treasure. I don't know why, but I always forget. March is fine. Go for Kaito. I go for Make Disappear just to resolve the Kaito. Could be good for later with Transmog and such. Alright, let's attack with a ninja. If they want to make a Castle Ardenvale, we can Edict and then play Transmog. I want to attack first. Oh wait, no, it can't be blocked. Never mind. So we'll get to draw a card off the Kaito. I'm going to main phase a big score. If they counter it, we might go for a Transmog. And if they don't counter it, then we can set up to hardcast Atraxa in a turn. Alright, I'm going to go for a Transmog now. We can actually just cast the Atraxa next turn. So I'm going to try to, like, run them out of interaction. Veto's fine. I'm actually surprised they didn't veto the big score, if I'm being frank. Alright, so now they can't make a castle token, which is nice. They can make a 2/2 shark. God, it's like the puzzle pieces just keep lining up so badly, man. It's gross. Now Kaito's dead. Like, if it was Absorb, right, they don't get to attack the Kaito this turn for 2. Oh well, maybe they don't have a thing for Atraxa next turn. That'd be nice. We can play pre-combat too, so we can maybe crew Bankbuster. I'm hoping we draw a Thoughtseize or something so we can preempt. In big score first? Yeah, I don't really... I want to see what the... I mean, the Thoughtseize is obviously an incredible draw. Let's see what they do. Alright, so we need green, white, red, black, blue. 1, 2. It even plays around Make Disappear, which I like. Alright, so Fable or Shark Typhoon. Let's see. Instance, go for a throat, artifact, land, creature. And then we can't play Fable this turn, so I guess it's just Shark Typhoon. Just a draw 5. No big. I will activate an attack. And I'll probably go ahead and play another Bankbuster while they're pseudo tapped out. Next turn we can big score into Atraxa if they have like a sweeper or something. The attack for 2 is a pretty clear signifier that they're playing Verdict this turn, so the Atraxa's down. Or they just concede. Okay. Alright, Stroke Mystical Disputes. Duress. Bankbuster. Beta Push can come out. I like most of the counter spells. It's possible we don't need to go apeshit on Disdainful Stroke. Disdainful Stroke is often weak against this matchup. Big score. We can maybe go like -2 big score and 1 Atraxa. And minus a stroke. I'm leaving the Shieldred's Edict because they can kill Planeswalkers at instant speed. I don't love them. They can also be used to Edict a token or whatever too, though. A Recipes or something here would be not a big deal. I'm trying to think of like a hate card they can play that I'd care about, and I can't think of too much. Play Dark Slick. Okay, they're stuck on 2 lands. So this means I'm definitely not going to play a Fable this turn. We'll just chill until they hit land drop. I don't want to buy my companion either. I'll go up to 8 cards and have to discard. But because of that, I might be incentivized to counterspell the first thing they play no matter what. 2 mana. What you got? Cycle Shark Typhoon for 0. Things you love to see. I do like that cycling Shark Typhoon actually turns on Fatal Push if you do it for 0. That's something that came up in testing before. Okay. All right, push. Yeah, we'll keep. If they thought Seize My Fable, I'm going to cry, but if they don't, we'll be fine. Okay, so no companion for them. You can transmog on 3. Yeah, but I'm not really a big fan of the Careful Cultivation or whatever it's called. Okay, so I guess we're playing against Neoform if they start with Mana Confluence. I'm going to go ahead and play Bankbuster. Could have gotten hit with a Stubborn Denial, but then our Fable resolves, which is nice. We'll probably discard Fatal Push. One thing I'd want to point out is that Mirix has not felt bad. I expected Mirix to really cost us in some later game spots. I haven't activated too much either, but... White? Progenitor Exarch. Okay, so this is a... I don't understand what's happening, chat. I kind of want to kill this now. I guess with only 1 mana, I don't have to sweat it too badly for now. We'll go ahead and play Shark Typhoon, or Fable. Now, they can do some incubator thing and then transform the incubator pretty quick, so... Rex and Cat Collect. This is not what I thought I was playing against, for whatever it's worth. Thought I was playing against Neoform. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I should have pushed, drawn a card. Push, draw a card is safe. There's a lot of new cards that I just don't even really know what they do because they're limited-esque. And all of them are Phyrexian, and all of them are fucked up with Progenitor Exarch, I think. Armored Scrap Gorger. So we're playing against a starter deck, is what you're telling me. Attack for 4 instead of for 2, I think. Actually, this is a fine attack. I actually like the treasure quite a bit. Next turn, we can actually just cast Atraxa off the attacks with treasures. Phyrexian Pod deck? Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe they're playing that 2 mana Birthing Pod thing. I always forget that thing exists. Fire of Heroes. Someone posted this in my Discord last week. Oh, shit. I guess I should pay more attention to the fun decks people post. All right. Well, now we drew Transmog, and we can essentially... Let's see... Is it weird that I want to transmog my Bankbuster? Just so I can keep my Goblin Shaman around for a little while? Guess I can attack first? Oh, I see, I see. Okay, so only creature... We can't shuffle it back into the deck, though, right? So, sorcery... Instant... Land? So we'll go Mirix. We can tap it for black. Let's go Thoughtseize You, make sure we know what's up. And then we can push the Malcator if we want to. Orange Inquisitor, Incubate 2. Okay, Urtai, Atraxa themselves. Okay. Do we just take Pyre of Heroes? So now they can Urtai me. Urtai kill this, I draw a card. Then if they attack, they're in trouble. Maybe I should have killed this. I don't know. I can just cast another Atraxa next turn. I'm not too worried about it. We also can do the Fable flip next turn if we want instead. Maybe we do that instead of casting Atraxa. We can just, like, actually kill them. I'm gonna pog! Alright, whatever. We'll just attack. Play another Atraxa. Fine offering the trade. You know, they're pretty low on life total. Eating this is fine. Trading with this is fine. Alright, so we go green, white, red, black, blue. One of those colors is unnecessary. Alright, only Planeswalker. I'll take Fatal Push over Make Disappear, Shark Typhoon, Shipwreck Marsh. No sorcery, that's fine. One thing about this deck that I don't love is I don't feel like I have the time or mana to cycle Shark Typhoon efficiently. Everything else seems fine, really low to the ground. And then Shark Typhoon is this big, expensive thing. And you may say to yourself, oh, it's not that expensive, right? I can just do it however I want. I think what ends up happening more often than not, though, is that they just kind of get stuck in your hand. We want to leverage Atraxa to play more stuff to the battlefield, and I think, well, I don't know. I'm gonna keep the Make Disappears. I'm gonna bring in just some Rinning Volleys, bench some Bank Busters. I think Thoughtseize and Fatal Push are both pretty good in the matchup. Hard casting Atraxa seems doable, so big score seems fine. Kaito can maybe get cut. It's got 2 Kaito for 2 Extinction Event. I think that's okay as well. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep. We have a removal spell ×2, and we have the ability to transmog on 5. It's a good draw. Best thing is Duress. Yeah, Duress is pretty good hit. Evil One, you want this song or the previous one? Let's see. Last song is called The Raven by Caspian. It's instrumental, 7 minutes long. This is The Distance by Kick. Maybe I can't be Pyre of Heroes. Oh, that's bad. Okay, that's pretty bad. Noted. Can't play Make Disappear off of Mirix. Alright. Maybe in the Gen version, Mirix is better. Just having something that generates tokens is nice. I like Mirix in a draw ghost hollow deck, though, honestly. Not having a Make Disappear here is so embarrassing, though. Let's get the Fable down. I'm hoping Pyre doesn't hurt us too badly. I don't know what all they can do other than just chain up into Malcator and then chain Malcator into, like, I don't know, Shieldred or something. Alright, so a lot of people, let's see, each player can't cast more than one non-Phyrexian spell each turn. Non-Phyrexian creatures enter the battlefield tapped. Okay, so all my creatures enter tapped. Alright, we'll attack, hold up, make disappear, and then play Transmog next turn. Get Atraxa, win easily. Oh, that sucks, Rachel. That's a big Sag for sure. All right, Skrelv, not a big deal, but maybe the 2-drop can be. All right, easy attack for 2, and then we'll transmog it. And then we can maybe push or Thoughtseize or something as well. Okay, GG. Thoughtseize me? No. Thoughtseize you. Okay, well, we'll just play 1 land tapped. The Darkslick Shores is probably coming into play next turn. I don't want to give away too much info there. The noose is loose. All right, so it's probably Greasefang. Thoughtseize a pretty good draw, chat. Pretty good draw. See what they got going on over there. A bunch of dog shit. Take the Wayfinder. This is why I don't play Noose Constrictor in my decks. It's probably just a 1-of, but still. +1 damage, Keck W. Has Mirac's been performing? It's actually been not great. But it's not been bad either. There was one turn where if it was a blue producing land, the only 2 lands I cut for it were lands that entered tapped on turns 1 and 2. And so my goal was essentially reduce that number slightly so that I could like Thoughtseize on turn 1 more aggressively, but didn't work out too well. But overall though, like the tokens haven't really mattered that much. They discard Chariot as well. They're keeping a Parhelion in hand. I'm really unsure what's going on. All right, I'm just assuming they don't have Fatal Push main deck or anything that stops this, so I'm just going to go for it. All right, so untapped land, Swamp, Fatal Push as the instant, Artifact, Sorcery. I don't really care about the Noose Constrictor. Atraxa bricks the combo anyway, so I don't really care. I think the game is just over. The Keenan one's my favorite ZJ, but I think that the Jace Vryn's Prodigy Fatal Push Thoughtseize one is also pretty good, and I would love to just continue experimenting with both of those. Well, they gave me a moment to turn off their tutor effects. They have the Eldritch Evolution they were trying to cast, and then they realized, oh, I want to discard my Parhelion. I thought about using the Fatal Push on the Constrictor earlier than that, but in that spot, that just renders their whole turn inert. I think that's good. Volley in for sure. Everything else is pretty lackluster. Maybe Bankbusters can go. Negate's pretty weak. Kaito seems a little awkward. I'm just gonna play like Drago against them, so maybe the Bankbusters are fine. Is there any use for more? Maybe Bankbuster's bad because of Witherbloom command. Maybe they're heavy incentive to bring in Witherbloom. And then Kaito's slightly better. Yeah, whatever. We'll just leave it as Bankbuster for now. Easy mulligan. Keep this one. Guess just put back a land. Probably turn one Thoughtseize off the Merrick's. Or not. Oh, I should have played this. Should have played the Haunted Ridge. Now I can't Edict on 3 unless I... No, I just can't Edict on 3. I guess if they play Satyr Wayfinder, I can just push it. Well, we drew the Black Source, so now I feel a little protected. They can't turn 3 combo me. Like really said, anyone else but me, huh? So they find the Grease Fang. See what they keep. They might need to land. They choose Temple Garden. Liliana the Veil, huh? Do I just discard Fatal Push, I guess? I can't really beat Lily, so I think I'm just gonna each opponent attacks the Planeswalker. And then just kind of hope I draw something here. I want to keep the Transmog because if I can maybe beat their combo if I draw something good. Alright, well, we'll Fable now, and if they go for Grease Fang, hit me for 15 or 14 or whatever, I can Transmog into Atraxa next turn. Maybe get there. They need another way to put another Parhelion in the graveyard, kind of. I wonder if I'm supposed to keep the push, but the push just doesn't do anything, man. Against, if I don't have a way to turn it on, you know? Alright, I'm going to show y'all a weird thing. I'm going to attack, and if they block with only one, we can Rending Volley at post-combat, and then we get to clear one with our treasure mana, basically. If they double block, though, I'm dead. This will work against people who... this will almost never work. But I was pretty sure it was going to work there, and we kind of need to get one of the angels off the table. But more limited? Yeah, I mean, that's something that most people aren't even going to see, though. Limited or constructed. Alright, we'll take Instant, will be Fatal Push, Creature, Artifact, and then land can be Soken'Zon. I guess we could big score, but that must be fine. We already played a land. Salvage finds Sky Sovereign. Sky Sovereign forces a block, but I gain some life. See what they keep. I guess they didn't have the land for the Noose Constrictor cast. Okay, so they have Concealed Courtyard in hand and Parhelion. Pikes will say play more limited, and someone will say no. Alright, I think I'll block Angel if they attack with both. If they don't attack with both, I don't actually have to block. I'll just take 6 down to 1. But I'll let the Sky Sovereign go back to hand. And then we can, this will transform. I can push the Greasefang down. We take more damage, but we get a threat off the battlefield permanently, which is nice. Alright, so let's go for Bank Buster. Push this. Here we go. And now we can draw a card or Rending Volley if they go for another Greasefang. But they actually don't even have another thing in the graveyard for Greasefang, so I'm not really that worried about it right now. So I might draw a card unless they threaten a vehicle. Flynn looks down on Pikes and says, "No. You're stuck in here with me!" I don't think we would have won this game if we did not do the Rending Volley trick, chat. That's why you gotta learn the little fucking weird things in this game. It's all about edges. It's all about edges. And no, it's not about edging, it's about edges. Chariot's scary. I love how I preempted you, Tom. I love how I preempted you. Draw a card. Non-artifact creature, you say? Alright, so we can cycle Shark Typhoon for 1, block, activate Bank Buster, and trade with Chariots. Cost 4 to crew. They might not have another creature to play. They're starting with a shock. That can never be good when they shock on their 6th mana source. Eldritch Evolution. Okay, well, they don't have anything crazy in the graveyard right this moment, so if they go get Greasefang, they can crew this. Okay, so they get Informant. That's going to let them loot another Chariot. Alright, we'll kill the Greasefang. I don't want them to get, like, extra tokens off Chariot coming in here. But now they can crew Chariot, they can attack. Draw a card, whatever. They'll get a token. This can't attack. This can. I might trade with the cat. Maybe I can't. Maybe I need to draw something. Maybe I'll kill the cat and then they won't have any targets for Chariot anymore. Alright, well, I'll just say go, and I'll cycle Shark Typhoon and do some chumping / trading, I guess. The removal of sorcery speed? What do you mean? The Rending Volley? I didn't want it to move to combat because then they bring back the Chariot. And Rending Volley doesn't kill this anyway, neither does Go for the Throat. Killing the cat turns off their ability to crew without playing another creature. That's why I main phase the Go for the Throat. When I killed the token. So Go for the Throat can't target Eska's Chariot, right? And if I kill the token on my turn, they couldn't crew at that point without playing something else. They might have something else, but they might not. And turning off the ability to crew was my only real method of interaction there. Could have saved the Go for a Throat, I guess, for the Greasefang, but the damage is already done. The vehicle's in play. How you doing, Kyle? We would love to play first. Playing against the Greasy Boy. Keep this one. Got a couple instant speed interactive points. We also have Mirix plus Transmog, so it's going to be awkward for our opponent to interact with everything. Mostly against Rakdos mid Flynn. Mostly against decks with Thoughtseize, who are just like really grinding you down. Okay, a bunch of creatures that don't matter. The Liliana matters. Alright, so we know they found Blooming Marsh. We'll go ahead and play Mirix. We can still channel Sokens on if we need to. We can go for the Throat. I still want to hold up the Running Volley if I can. They found Parhelion, so now we have to be pretty worried about Greasefang. Go ahead and use a little bit of our removal. Alright. Unfortunate. I think I might buy the Gigantha next turn. I can maybe cast it to get Atraxa into play. I think so too, post-Monstrous. I think they're much better in the Gen version than the Grixis version, though. Because I have counter spells in my deck, and the counter spells just don't do anything sometimes. Noose is fine. I'm gonna Sokens on and block. They have 3 cards in hand. I think they played the Courtyard. They have 1 card I don't know about. Might be a Fatal Push. They'll play Chariot, we'll play Gigantha. I'm hoping I draw land to keep holding up for Running Volley. If we wait for them to bring back the Parhelion, they can still crew with Noose Constrictor, so I'm going to go ahead and volley this now before they have a chance. Okay. Guess I keep. You know, this is another one of those things where, like, because I don't know what my opponent's playing, I'm on the draw. I feel like I kind of have to keep hands like this, but I honestly have no clue. So, Lair of the Hydra could be Gruul, could be mono green. Didn't play an Elf or an Oath, so probably not mono green, but turn 2 Elf. You love to see it. Interaction of any kind. Just another land? Wow. Wow. Guess I'll cycle Shark Typhoon. Wow. On the Transmog, so we have the turn 3, turn 4 punch. Next turn might go badly for us if they have Nykthos Kiora. I'm going to go ahead and get Fable down. Next turn we'll discard, I guess, Watery Grave, Stormcarved Coast, and then go for Transmog. I wrote all about it on my Patreon last week and streamed it a bunch last week. If you're interested in learning more, That's where most of that content is. That's kind of how I do things. I touch on it a bit and then I move on. All right, well, they found Nykthos. I'm going to go for the Transmog. And if I die next turn, it is what it is, I guess. Is there any universe where I Fable Thoughtseize? I don't think so. This also just protects my life total too, which is currently in jeopardy. So enchantment, instant, planeswalker, land, sorcery. We got to discard 3. I'll keep Soken's on. If I draw another land, I'll play that one over Soken's on, but I don't want to discard lands, really. I don't want to discard spells, really. Discarding Shark Typhoon already feels kind of bad. Another troll? Sure. And a Nykthos, and a 10 mana, and Cardinal 6 mana floating. Very scary. Okay, well, Godfrey statue, honestly, could be worse, I guess. All right, let's attack Karn. See what they do. As Vigilant, that's nice. All right, let's see what they get back. If it's, maybe it's Oath? Tribute to the World Tree, okay. So we can Edict the Karn for 4 and then play our lands. Guess that's just what we do, huh? So now they play Tribute. They have 1 card left after that. I don't know. It's not really that scary. Triple green, I guess, which is scary. Blukernos. What's the backside of this do? No, it's Reach. 6/6. Whenever it or another non-token Hydra dies, create a 3/3. Okay, so it's like Wormcoil Engine on the back. Okay. One's got Reach, one's got what? Alright, easy attack for 7. As Reach, Lifelink, not Death Touch. Let's see. Kaito costs 5. Everything costs 5. It matters. Transmog costs 6. I guess Fable. Maybe it should be Kaito draw card. Maybe it's Kaito make a 1/1. Fable doesn't really do much. Oh my god, I forgot to make a 1/1. Oh man. Oh well. Misclicks happen. No big. Stop activating Nykthos for a bunch. They really peeled Storm the Festival, huh? That's bad. They can flash it back with ease. Man. It's so hard to beat them in a top deck war. They have so many hits. So they get to draw 2 cards. They can untap Nykthos, go again. Bikoko. Bikoko. I don't feel favored. I haven't felt favored the whole game. Alright, flipping another Plukernos. That's fine. You gotta pick one. So you get 2 3/3s that become 5/5s. I don't think that works with Kiora, though. So they'll just be 5/5, 1 with Reach, 1 with Lifelink. But now they have... Oh, it draws... Another non-token Hydra. So the second one is great. That's fucking awesome, actually. I'm like super stoked about that interaction. That's pretty cool. The second Pelucranos makes 4 3/3s. And they all have fucking reach. I'm just gonna concede to save time. I don't want to play anymore. I don't think I can bust through that anyway. I'd rather just go again. 3-stroke, a duress. I really have no idea how to sideboard here. Big score seem weak. Shark Typhoon seem mid. Alright, we gotta cut 4 cards. I like all the counter spells. The edicts are fine. The bank busters we can probably cut. They get shut down by Karn. Discard's good. Fatal Push is okay, not great. Kaitos, I guess we'll just cut them. I don't know. We can maybe get off an early Transmog here. We can save Mirix for Red Source, maybe. Double Thoughtseize early is pretty good. We'll strip them down. I'm just gonna steal their cool 3-drops, I guess. Could take Elf and slow them down, but they have redundancy with elves, and if they're just all mana, that's fine too, right? What did you draw? Kiora? Okay. So their hand is Oath, Nykthos. I hope I draw Fable. Give me Fable one-time dealer. I'm just gonna buy Gigantha next turn, I think. They're just gonna play Nykthos pass. Fatal Push deals with Pelucranos. I mean, it doesn't really deal with it that well. It still has a mana value of 3 on the back, and if I kill it, they got 2 more creatures, right? So currently cannot cast Pelucranos next turn, which is nice. We can Mirix into Transmog. Alright, we'll attack first, I guess. See if we can find a discard spell. Alright, instant. Enchantment, definitely Shark Typhoon. Land. And then either Disdainful Stroke or Shoulder Edict. I'll take Shoulder Edict as a way to clean up whatever they play this turn, and then I'll Disdainful Stroke their next thing. Mold 5, double Thoughtseize, very fun gameplay. Alright, we'll just make a big Shark Typhoon / hold up Disdainful Stroke. Alright, well, here comes the Polyk. World Tree, that's fine. We're just shy of being able to kill them. Maybe I should have played Gigantha to threaten lethal. And then Shoulder Edict was guaranteed lethal. We'll hold up Stroke. I guess we could have played Gigantha and hold up Disdainful Stroke too. Mirix token's probably fine. I don't think it really matters. I'm just trying to end the game as quickly as possible, to be frank. Elf is fine. It'll be a 3/3. They can Nykthos, I guess, now. But we still have the Stroke. Alright, so let's go push this. They can play a Nykthos and activate again. We still have Disdainful Stroke for whatever they play in the future. So let's go Edict, say non-token creature. And now their Nykthos is dampened if they play one post Glucranos trigger. Pretty good opener. Pretty good hand. Atraxa a little awkward, but that's okay. So we can push the elf on 1 and then Thoughtseize on 2. There's also the option to go Thoughtseize on 1 and then Stroke on 2 to like let them ramp with the elf, but I find that doing that often, yeah, it's awkward. Doing that often is weak to their 3-drops. Their 3-drops are really important in some spots. All right, let's just go to Thoughtseize, tap land. Okay, so I think I just take Troll, let him Kiora, and then counter the Karn next turn. I don't like that this hovers on my lands. I wish I could just move it to the right a little. It's very annoying. It should be like up here on the right or something. Another day. I wonder if I should have given him old Grill Troll instead of Kiora. I don't think so, but maybe. I'll definitely counter a Karn if it comes down here. Ignore most other things. Hate the way the battle looks? Me too. I really don't like where they put it on top of lands. My guess, Daybreak's pretty good so far about fixing little things like that. And I've already added them on Twitter about it. And if they just see the picture once with it looking like this, I'm sure they can change it. And that would be good for them to do so, in my opinion. Yo, Jace574, thanks for the follow. I'm going to buy Gigantha, play it on 5, and then Atraxa on 6, and hope that that's fast enough. Or I'll just play Fable. Did they fix prototypes yet? What was wrong with prototypes? Wonder what they're going to go get. Maybe Haywire Might? Haywire Might, they can cast it, untap, and then use it to blow up Fable, but then I get to attack Karn by Gigantha, maybe make a Mirrex token. Maybe they'll get Sky Sovereign. Ratchet Bomb. Okay. Token down. Let's see if we can find something off this Fable. Do I just cycle Shark Typhoon for 2? Hold up, make disappear? I guess so. Let's see what they go get. Also, just activate Mirrex instead of cycling Shark Typhoon if we want Chariot. They could have untapped to play around it with a Kiora. I'm very glad they didn't. Now Thoughtseize could be okay. I kind of want to cycle Shark Typhoon for 0. I think I'm going to. Yo, MilTK, thanks for 7 months. Thank you so much. Alright, Thoughtseize you, see if we can steal their last card. Just Beseiju. Did I know it was a Beseiju? Was that a punt? I think it was a punt. Next turn, we should be able to knock down the Karn, unless they do something. I guess they can punch the Reflection with a Beseiju and block the Goblin. So we'll discard Thoughtseize. We'll look for, I guess, removal to kill the lair. Wow. I mean, it's so hard to beat this deck, man. They just have such sick top decks. Their deck is just ramp, 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 and then they have like 1,000 cards that are just crazy payoffs, you know? It's hard. So you pay us the big bucks? That's why I pay you the medium bucks. Let's be real. Alright, so now I need to draw, I guess, the one of edicts. I don't think I want to keep either of these. I guess we can technically kill the Karn, so that's good. We'll buy Gigantha, and then next turn we can play the Atraxa. They'll eat this one, Karn will die. Alright, well, let's just hope they draw some fucking Llanowells for a minute. I guess. I don't know. The problem, once they have Cure in play, like every draw except for Elf is good. Old Growth, Cavalier, Karn, even Tribute's okay. Juices this a bit. We're at 16, we might get combo killed out of nowhere and die to Lair the Hydra. Just always have to be aware of how you can lose when you play against mono green, because they often beat you in some very ridiculous spots. That's okay. It's just a very slippery slope that people get drawn into, you know? Alright, so if they attack me for 9, they're attacking the battle. Okay, so they're going to get a 4/3 trample, and whenever you cast a spell, it gains indestructible until end of turn. You hit Cure, that's fine. I guess. You think they could just lethal this? So this was, what, 5, untap 7, 8, 9, 10, let's see. It was pretty close, especially if this Oath was there. Was the untap a Cure? Maybe it wasn't quite lethal. Maybe it was like 1 short or something. So the Oath finds Pelucranos in some trouble. I guess we have these to threaten Fatal Push or whatever, so maybe they didn't want to go all in. Oh yeah, they definitely had lethal and chose not to go for it. Eldraken, I've been working on a Rona Tyvar deck that I think Deathrite Shaman could be pretty good in, but I haven't quite found the right shell for it because we don't have a lot of self-mill in that build, but maybe with like Satyr Wayfinders and stuff, it could be okay. Yeah, Pelucranos seems good. The battle seems meh, but the front half is basically just another Oath of Nissa, so it's not that bad. I think this one might be better than the green X one, even though that one is more devotion. I think it's a worse card. Maybe we should just be playing mono green devotion again, man. The Pelucranos Reborn seems fantastic. No, I agree, Empty. I mean, look at where we're at now. We're in trouble. We're gonna cast Atraxa. Alright, so we go white, green. I guess we just leave up in black leave no matter what. Alright, so we get Instance Fatal Push, Sorcery is Transmog, Land is Marsh, Enchantment. Alright, now we can make a Reflection to chump block, but I think I'll just do some blocking and then maybe Fatal Push, or at least hold Fatal Push for the lair. It's a better Commune with the Gods, essentially very meh. I mean, it hits any permanent. Commune with the Gods only hitting creatures or enchantments is awkward, especially if you play artifacts or... I mean, it hits, like, Commune doesn't hit lands. You know? I think that the Battle for Invasion of Ixalan is fine. It's a fine card. I don't want to play a ton. Alright, Nykthos and untap. Great. What next? Is this just a big lair activation? Oh, title is outdated. I'm sorry. I'm not going to change it. We're going to be done in a sec, so... So this doesn't trample, right? I can just make a chump blocker. I think push is fine, though. It's just a huge problem for later that we can just deal with now. Oh, fuck, it's a Hydra for lair? That's so sickening. I should have just chump blocked it. Okay, so that's another thing that Plukernos does. It makes lair of the Hydra better. Okay. Alright, we'll attack Kiora. They'll probably block with the 2 reach things. Or not. You know, maybe they won't. We'll gain a bunch of life. Okay, so I guess now they can get back Karn. I guess I'll just transmog my own Atraxa to go get another one. Try to find a counterspell. Alright, so definitely want negate for the instant. This is... I'll take Shark Typhoon over the Fable. Extinction Event. Shipwreck Marsh. I think that's it. Alright, say go. We'll just discard a land. Alright, now we have the Karn checked. We have the board checked. We have Extinction Event on Odd to kill Pelucranos. Oh, to kill our things too, huh? Maybe we just wait on the Extinction Event for a little while. Alright, so that thing's indestructible until end of turn. That's not a big deal. We might get clowned here, right? They spent all their mana last turn to essentially force my Fatal Push or whatever. Or they just had nothing to do. Alright, end of turn we'll make a Reflection. Alright, we'll just go end of turn, make a 2 big Shark Typhoons. Fine, I guess attacking Cure again. They want to double block. We have the threat of doing some serious damage to their board state. This is okay with me. Alright, we'll kill the Pelucranos. No. All of them. Oh, wait, it's damage. It's Death Touch too. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Sorry. Alright. And now we can name even on Extinction Event. We've already played a land, so let's say go, and then we'll do... So the token on Reflection is even mana value? I did not know that. That's strange. Cavalier, great top deck. Very scary. Yeah, it's just weird the Reflection of Kiki Jiki doesn't have base 3 loyalty or whatever. Or 3 pit. They found Storm. So it's 5, 3, 8, 9. I think if they have a land, they can... I guess they can just cast it from the graveyard pretty easily with a couple things. Another Kiora. Okay. So they minus this down to 3, back up to 8. So they actually just stayed even. That was a mistake. They're not gaining mana doing that. Literal same exact spot. It's just slightly higher Kiora. Alright, so now they can pay 2. I might cycle Shark Typhoon for 0. Then we can swarm the Kiora maybe and kill it. All right, so now do I just make 4 Fables or do I cycle Shark Typhoon? 4 Fables lets me kill Kiora somewhat comfortably. All right, so now we can make 2 more and then send them all at Kiora, something like that. So if we send everything at Kiora, they'll just block these 2. I can go for a throat, troll. What am I gonna give them? What are they gonna get back? Karn with that. All right. So now we just send everything except for 1 reflection at the Kiora. So they block here, it takes 8. That's fine. All right, so now I got to float 1 if I want to keep the trick around. So the rest will go away, but I'll have 1 sticking around. This is going to go away during their end step, but if you're going to float 1, why not make the token attack? I did make the... Yeah, I should have. I was just dumb. Because I'm stupid. That's why. Alright, well, here comes Nykthos. Everyone, it's because I'm bad, okay? That's why. I'm so sorry, I'm bad. I'm very bad. Because I had that thing in my head, and then I didn't. That's why. I'm actually kind of curious if they can kill me in a reasonable amount of time here. Through a million fables. Another fucking Storm the Festival, man. Now maybe I should have went for a one on this one, right? They now look to combo you out? Yeah, but they have to do it in 50 seconds of game time or whatever, and it's just not possible. They're definitely timing out. I'm not losing the game. I hope. And I'm definitely not conceding. Not with me with 10 more minutes on the clock than them. Yeah, so they're going for Cityscape Leveler. See what they target. They're targeting that one? That's the copy, huh? Sorry to say, but 2 Fables are done. Yeah. I mean, Kiora, Nykthos is done too, man. It's just part of the game of Magic the Gathering. Sage, you targeting that? Okay. Whatever. All right, pretty lackluster final, I guess. Like overall, I didn't feel like I was going to win that game. I'm going to kind of count that as a 2-3 for testing purposes because I'm pretty sure we would have lost that game if it had gone on forever. With that said, I probably would have played slightly differently based on the time, but not really. Up until the last minute or so. I think that the biggest problem that I have with this deck is that I don't think it's bringing anything unique to the table. I feel like Atraxa works actually pretty poorly with Shark Typhoon. Obviously, it works nicely with Transmog, but I don't love that all of our token generators cost 3. You know, like the turn 3, make a token, turn 4, Transmog. We didn't get to do it, I don't think, a single time in that league, except with Fable the Mirror Breaker. But like, or sorry, in turn 4, except when I had Fable, but I don't know, man. It didn't feel that good. That's about all I got, man. Obviously, Thoughtseize Fatal Push pretty great. The counter spells in general are okay. I don't really know if counter spells and Thoughtseize go together. So I would maybe just look back towards the Jund version of this. I do think Mirix is a great addition to these strategies, but it leans more towards sorcery speed stuff like Thoughtseize and Duress, so that you can play them on your own turn. I think that you really want to lean into the Mirix makes mana of any color ability, especially with the early discard. And I think just playing like 2 Duress and 4 Thoughtseize is fine. We can use Fable to discard them. But the blue did not stand out to me as being particularly good. So I would probably look to change that. But this has been Grixis Transmog. This deck did win the challenge. I made plenty of mistakes. Maybe the deck's great. Don't take my word for it. Give it a try yourself. Thanks for watching. I'm Tandy. I'll see you next time. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. See you later.